So there's a whole symphony of human beings, executing systems in the back to get these athletes ready, have everything organized, get them to the cage. So sometimes there are those delays like we just saw. Mamedov making his way to the cage, again, out of Underdog MMA in Connecticut, in the blue corner. It's hard to believe that there's been this much excitement and fireworks from these first 4 or 5 fights, and they were all novice rules fights, 0-0 athletes. That just shows the caliber of competition that we have here at Cage Wars, but also in and around the Northeast. The evolution of the sport, the evolution of the athletes, the schools is just never ending. I expect a big pop here for Keivon Wood coming from Brian Bury Jiu-Jitsu. I believe they have 6 athletes on the card tonight.
Is that correct for him? Underground MMA Fight Club, yes. Underground MMA West Hartford. Okay. Yeah, no, it's not West Hartford. Where is it? It's Holyoke, Mass. Oh, in Holyoke, Massachusetts is where it's Underground MMA. Underground MMA Fight Club, Holyoke, Massachusetts.
Still waiting for Keivon Wood. We've got some folks making their way to the doors here in the back. Expect to hear this crowd erupt when he comes in.
And his opponent making his way to the red corner, Keivon Wood.
And you see there with Keivon, Cage Wars veteran Harley Ray Locklear. You see Ben McHugh, veteran, Coach Brian Bury. All these guys and girls are just game, and they're all about this life. It's going to be exciting to watch these 2 guys go at it. Keivon Wood in the red corner. You see the red tape on the gloves, and you will see them on the shin guards. Corner finishing up the grease job, last inspection before he enters the cage.
In between the undercard and overcard, we're getting an IG guy on there. He's going to pillow fight the girls for charity. We're going to write something up together. We started a mental health awareness thing. So we'll put a little thing together and we're going to read it, and then we're going to let the shenanigans continue.
All right, Keivon Wood makes his way into the cage.
The upcoming contest on the card for Cage Wars 57, scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. It is in our lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in last night at 155 pounds, representing Underground MMA Fight Club out of Holyoke, Massachusetts, Alisalana Mamedov. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in last night at 154 pounds, representing Brian Bury Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu out of Watervliet, New York, the great Urameshi Keivon Wood. And the man in charge of the action at the sound of the bell, Mr. Dan Mergliata.
Keivon Wood, a guy out of Brian Bury Jiu-Jitsu who, his teammates are very excited he's able to compete tonight. They felt he's been ready for a while now, and, I'm expecting him to bring some fire to the cage.
Well, you've had 5 fights, and the only one that didn't go the distance, if I'm not mistaken, was the women tonight. So maybe that'll change with this one here.
Mamedov opening up with some hard punches and kicks. Good job in and out. He's looking to establish this dance, and he wants it to be a high-paced dance.
Yeah, he's fast. He's light on his feet.
See him
Strong.
switch kick.
Yep.
Nice head movement side to side. The thing I would say is Urimashi's probably reading him to see if he's going to back straight up every time. Keivon Wood looking for the neck. Mamedov doing a nice job. Getting to that left hip to establish side control. Mamedov using that right leg.
Well, this is interesting. Do you
He's
see?
not in danger for a submission, but it's uncomfortable. Maybe he's looking for a roll. Maybe he's looking for a stand-up.
I'm having a difficult time discerning what either one is trying to do right now.
Well, right now, Keivon Wood's trying to circle to the right side to break that grip with the hands and feet and put pressure on Mamedov's neck, just like that. That's why that forearm was in the throat.
Well done.
Knee on belly,
Very
transitions
well
to
done.
mount. But again, with novice rules, mount is not always the best position. Nice job by Mamedov rolling to get on top, ending
Wow.
up in guard.
Complete momentum changer.
And again, mount is good, but sometimes it can be tough to hold. Sometimes side mount is a better option.
Minute to go in the first round of a very interesting fight that's seen a couple different twists and turns.
Keivon Wood doing a good job controlling the biceps. Mamedov fighting for inside control. Wood bringing the hips high, threatening the triangle. Low armbar. And again, sometimes you don't even have to execute the submission just to make your opponent move.
Yep.
And it was enough to threaten his opponent to make that transition.
Yeah, good call.
He's looking for the north-south choke, it looks like.
30 seconds left to go. And, Will, this is where you really bring so much of the telecast in terms of just telling people what they're seeing and explaining what is happening, the different movement and stuff. A nice job here by Wood late in the first round.
Beautiful job. He fought his way through some positions, ended up on top, transitioned to mount, side mount, north-south. Mamedov does a nice job of anticipating and feeling when Wood's going to move, and then he tries to take advantage of that. He might not have a great open guard. He might not be threatening elevations and sweeps and reversals, but he has a good awareness.
We're set for round number 2 here at Rivers. We appreciate you all watching at Stimulus.com alongside Will Berry. My name is Brian Cody. St. Patrick's Day, Cage Wars 57, and we're maybe about halfway or so through. We still have 3 title fights to get to and 5 fights on our main card coming up here tonight.
As I said when you were gone, it's amazing that we've had this level of electricity in the arena, this level of fights, and they've all been debut fights. They've all been novice fights so far. That's not always common. And it just lends to the level of athlete as well as the promotion and the matchmaking. Great job by all.
And the athletes themselves promoting it too, because listen, these athletes aren't getting paid, right? They're out here and they ask their friends, family to support them, and we've seen that. I mean, we've seen a loud crowd tonight. And we might have some fireworks here in round number 2.
I think both these guys have a little bit of sense of urgency to it to really establish and win this round handily.
Felt like a pretty even first round, but if you're Mamedov, you probably don't want to be back on your back again.
No, Mamedov's got some redness on that right side from the ground and pound. Doing a nice job with those low kicks, inside, outside, following up with hands. Now, again, he's got the neck of Wood, but he's got one arm in and one arm out. Not really in a position to really threaten him. Wood doing a nice job shaking his head out. Wood looking to stay heavy, steps over that right side.
Wood appears, to have a smaller frame, but he is quite strong.
He's strong.
Very strong.
And he's good at keeping control, keeping a low center of gravity, using his hips.
And you could see, he would be in such an ideal situation for ground and pound, but without head strikes in the novice, he's somewhat limited in what he can do.
And right now you see Mamedov has the body lock on the back. Really, that's just going to try to look for a roll or look for a stand-up by the ref.
A nice job by Keivon Wood here, controlling the action in our first minute of round number 2.
And, you know, the position he's putting him in sucks. He's putting his chest right on his head. It makes it difficult to breathe. When you force the head to one side, you limit the body's ability to move. Again, nice job rolling and bumping by Mamedov.
Yep, Mamedov is at least making it uncomfortable.
Using the legs, trying to hook Wood. And mount has been the position that Mamedov has been able to execute these reversals and rolls on. Being against a cage, that will be more challenging, but right now it's all Keivon Wood.
And it seems like Mamedov is just kind of maybe taking a few seconds to kind of gather himself before he maybe wants to do another push to get out of this situation.
Yep,
and there it
he
is.
just tried to bump and roll. Again, he's trying to wait for that moment, but in 3-minute rounds, if you've got a guy that's good with the control, before you know it, those moments have elapsed.
And it seems like just so much wasted energy and frustration to not kick your opponent off you.
It's
gotta
very
be
frustrating
deflated.
physically, mentally, you know.
Well, right now, Keivon Wood is just simply imposing his will on Mamedov because the fighter that came into the cage.
But Mamedov rolled him. Nice job. Threatening for
As
the
soon as I
armbar.
say it. As soon
Can
as
he
I
sink
say
it? It's deep. He's got to extend those hips. Mamedov doing a good job keeping down pressure, stacking Wood, and getting that arm out. Nice job by both men there.
That came quick.
Mamedov looking for that right leg. Wood looking for the neck. Nice scrambles by these guys.
But it ends up where it's been the last minute and a half with Wood on top.
You see Wood looking. He's going to want to look for an arm. He was getting to that left foot up, trying to transition, look for another arm bar. Maybe he sees that's a weak point for Mamedov.
About 10 seconds left to go in our second round. Another really good round here from Keivon Wood.
And even Mamedov gave him a little pat on the side, like, great job, man.
He did.
It's nice to see that level of respect by these martial artists. Third and final round coming up, folks.
And it's just another highly skilled athlete that we see from Brian Bury. I mean, you can speak on them and the work that they do, and you know.
It really is. You know, they're all very well prepared.
Yep.
They're very, very well rounded. You know, they've got good sweeps. They're good on top. They're good with submissions. Their striking has come a long way.
Fight fans, this is our third and final round.
You know, it's always something that, you know, you and I talked about this off air. You know, we have a lot of fighters that this is their first time in the cage, so there's not a lot to go on, but you know what you at least can expect as far as a preparation is concerned when you have certain athletes and certain fighters that come out of, you know, specific gyms in the capital region, and Brian Bury's is one of the finest. First time athletes or 10th time in the cage, they're always well trained, well prepared, and I don't think Brian Bury puts anybody inside here who can't handle themselves.
Third and final round. Here we go. Big Dan, third man in the cage.
Mamedov's got to throw a couple bombs here. He's just got to.
He does, but when you throw those bombs, you got to make sure your opponent's not changing the level, looking for that takedown.
But I just don't even feel like Wood respects it.
Nice knee, but again, he waited for the knee, grabbed that leg, sunk it in, brought it to the ground. Trying to pass that leg over to that right side. Mamedov grabbing that neck, but again, there's not much to threaten from that position. Up against the cage.
Does Mamedov show you enough technique to be able to?
He's looking for something from the bottom. He's looking to sink some sort of a choke in on the bottom. I don't think he's got it. Nope. But again, at least he's making Wood think.
Yeah.
You know, he's not just letting Wood have carte blanche with this position. You see Wood just transitioning from left to right, getting to that left hip. Mamedov locking him down with those two legs and foot.
He's got something.
But again, not enough to really threaten a submission here.
I don't know. He looks like he's coiling
Making
up.
him uncomfortable.
Sure as heck is. He's got the legs locked.
He's got to get that forearm in the throat, circle towards the hand to break that grip.
So right now, where is
he should be circling to Mamedov's head.
Where is the pressure on Wood?
It's on his neck. But again, you know, it's not really an airway choke. He's still functioning well. It's just one of those positions where he's kind of stuck in the moment.
And he's got a minute to work. What can he do from here? Because he's got something locked. But, oh, did he just tap?
Wow.
He got him to tap.
That was impressive. All right.
Wow.
That choke did its job. That was
Out
something unique that
of
I've not seen in this
nowhere.
cage yet.
I think Wood is shocked, and a great job by Mamedov, who he was dominated in round 2, probably lost round 1. He had a minute to do some damage, and he got it.
And it could have been one of those things where that pressure was on that carotid artery, so it wasn't necessarily an airway choke, but more of a blood choke. You know, and that kind of compiles, and before you know it, you don't have enough oxygen.
Well, you didn't see it unfold as you do some other chokes, but a hell of a job there by Mamedov. Pulled that one out.
He did. You know, arguably down 2 rounds to none.
In less than a minute or so to go. Great job.
And again, to speak to the quality of their school, you know, they've had athletes over here, and I said in the beginning, they always come prepared. You know, he went into the 3rd round of battle, and he was able to pull it out.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be disappointing for Keivon Wood, but certainly, though, it's his first time, and he did a lot of really, really good things that you can work on for your next fight.
We're going to bring it up to Mike Falvo for the official decision.
How about a round of applause for these 2 great fighters, ladies and gentlemen? Referee Dan Mergliata has called a stop to the fight 1 minute 56 seconds into round number 3. For your winner by way of Buggy Choke, Alisalana Mamedov.
All right, so I guess that was a buggy choke.
Explain to fight fans who maybe never heard that term before what it is.
It's a new choke that's kind of evolved on the jiu-jitsu scene, you know, and people are hitting it from really odd positions in guard, working the leg up, and it just creates a very awkward choke that's very challenging to get out of that hold. And he tried it the first time, but Wood was able to circle to the hand, break that grip, and in that last time, he just ended up in that position for too long, and I believe that, you know, the oxygen slowly just started to leave.